Buenas noches, mi entario, mi entario, mi entario. Buenos días, mi entario, mi entario, mi entario. Con Izulu in toto. Con mi entario, con intima. In tu. Mi entario, con mi moco. In tanda. Mi entario, mi entario, mi entario. Buenas noches, mi entario, mi entario, mi entario. Buenos días, mi entario, mi entario, mi entario. Assalamu alaikum, salah. Good to see you again, my friends. This is day 4 of the work on the Nkisi, and so we're going to be getting started. I just had to sort a few things out with the spirits before I got started today. I'm going to be doing work on the head and the legs and the arms and all over the place. We're getting really close to having all that stock removal done that we need to get done. So I'm getting pretty excited. I'm going to get my tools out and we're going to get started. So at the end of the workday yesterday, I ended up fat fingering the record button and I only caught a small portion of what I was trying to show you guys. So we're going to start out just by showing you that yesterday, by the end of the day, we had started piercing through where the arms are so that we'll be able to do his bent arms. We got the initial profile of the legs done, both from the front and from the side. We have begun sorting out his back and his little booty. And so today I'm going to be working on shaping the head overall, removing the material that's around the shape of the ears, which once we've got that done, so we know that we're not going to remove too much material, we've got those ears laid out, we're then going to set about the process of refining the head. We're going to get some work done on them arms and work done on those legs and feet. It's going to be good stuff. I'll be back when we've got some of it done. All right, we have brought out the platform that will be carved into his ears. We've done a bunch of shaping on his head. It's no longer just a flat block on the back. Got the shape of the cranium in and the ears on both sides. Started removing some of the material relative to the arms. Got sweat dripping in my eyes. And did a little more work on his legs. But so far, so good. Whew, we are at the hottest part of the day. I'm taking a break, having me a Freezy Pop. Cannot go wrong with a blue Freezy Pop. So, I did have a couple more questions come in. Wow, my beard is really messed. Wow. I did have another couple questions come in asking about Nkisis. And the first question that I got, which again I don't feel there's any harm in answering, is what kind of woods do you carve the Nkisis out of? So cedar is very traditional. The kapok tree, what in Laocha they call the iroko. It's one of the sacred trees. The royal palm is not uncommon. Laurel. Usually don't carve out of oak. Usually don't carve out of walnut. Actually, birch is acceptable in some circumstances, but primarily it's cedar, mahogany, the kapok tree, and sometimes royal palm. The second question I got was, does the yellow bandana mean anything? And yes, actually it does. When I was initiated in Palo Mayombe. You know, they cover your eyes. I'm not going to say more about it than that. But the band of cloth that was used to cover my eyes was yellow. And I still have that band of cloth. And I wear it around my forehead, you know, before I put my hat on when I'm going to work palo. And what it comes down to is I got a thing with Mama Chola. She's watched out for me a lot. She's now one of my primary Nkisis. I don't have her Nganga, but she's just taking really good care of me. So I wear this to show my respect to her. She's the one who said, Tata Will, you need to get off your behind and get to carving because your hands are blessed. I still don't know if I believe my hands are blessed, but I do all right. Freezy pop. I'm just blazing through this freezy pop, but yeah, so what woods are Nkisis made out of? Sometimes they'll be carved out of camwood, which is what Osun is, the orange wood powder that you'll encounter in Laocha and in you know, Palo. But it's so hard to get pieces of camwood that it's just utterly ridiculous. And so usually cedar is the easiest for me to get. But I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my freezy pop, and then I'm gonna get back to the Nkisi, show you guys where we're at right now, and then get back to the work. Now we're back down where I'm doing the work. So I've done a bunch more stock removal on his legs. They're starting to thin down into the neighborhood where they're supposed to be. Have taken out a bunch of material here underneath his arms on both sides. Starting to get that overall shape of the arm bend in there. Still a lot of that to do. Have widened the gap between his legs pretty substantially. So that's kind of a pain getting in there between the legs. Have started to give him his little behind and start to work in the divot at the lower back and stuff, and working out and stuff here. And then once we get that worked out, then we'll actually even out his sides so that they fit appropriately. But I always leave more material than I need, you know, because you can take the wood off, but you can't put the wood back on. So I leave more material than needs to be left so that I'm guaranteed not to make a major mistake. I've still got to do a little more rounding to the top of his head here, and then I've got to work in his neck, but we're making real progress. All right, I'll be back after I've done another step. All right, we've done about an hour and a half of work since I shared the freezy pop with you. You can see his face is starting to come together. His mouth is open with his teeth. We've begun shaping the nose, laying in the upper portion of the eye. On either side, you can kind of tell here, you know, where the bottom portion of the eye is going to come in. We've gotten his arms shaped out, so most of the stock removal is done there. His legs thinned out as they should be. We still have to do the ears, but he's got his nice forward lean and his hands on his hips, and he is really getting close now. Maybe a day of work, maybe 2 days of work. I think probably 2 days of work yet, but we are getting mighty close. We're at the point now where all the work is fine work. We're no longer doing stock removal with heavy-duty tools. We're using fine tools. So I'm very pleased with today's work. Hey, salam alaikum. Thank you for joining me again while I work on this Nkisi. I think we have 1 to 2 days of work left on him yet, but we're definitely making progress. I didn't think I would enjoy sharing this with you guys as much as I have enjoyed it. And I've got to say, I hope you'll come back and join me for the next day, and we'll just keep working, and I'm glad to have you with me on this journey. So, until then, Malukum Salam.